Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds! Welcome back to the channel. Now, we all know pennies, those little 1-cent coins that we often toss into jars or ignore when they roll out of our pockets. But did you know that some pennies, like the 1998 1-cent coin, could actually be worth millions? That's right, millions! Stick around as we dive deep into the history and value of this fascinating coin. Let's get started. Alright, let's start with the basics. In 1998, the US Mint produced over 8 billion pennies for circulation. Yep, 8 billion! These coins were made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, and they feature Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that has been in place for decades. At first glance, this coin is worth, well, 1 cent, its face value. And for most of us, that's all we think of when we see a penny. But what if I told you that a 1998 penny is anything but ordinary? To understand why a 1998 penny could be worth a fortune, we need to dive into how coins are minted. The US Mint uses state-of-the-art machinery to press billions of coins each year, and sometimes, a mistake slips through the cracks. These mistakes are known as mint errors, and they can turn an otherwise ordinary penny into something extraordinary. Now, these errors could range from double strikes, off-center impressions, to even missing letters or numbers. But one of the most famous mistakes, one that could make a 1998 penny worth millions, happened when a penny was struck on a wrong planchet, or an incorrect blank. Imagine this, a penny, but it's the wrong size. That's exactly what happened in 1998. A few lucky collectors discovered that some 1998 pennies were accidentally struck on dime planchets, the metal blanks used for dimes. Since dimes are smaller than pennies, the coins didn't fit the normal penny size, making them a rare and valuable find. One of these dime-sized pennies is worth a lot of money. In fact, the coin has been valued at anywhere from $25,000 to over $71 million depending on its condition, rarity, and authenticity. Yes, you heard that right, $71 million. That's more than enough to retire on, buy your dream house, or maybe even start your own mint. But how did this penny end up being worth $71 million? Well, in 2014, a coin like this was put up for auction, and it fetched an incredible price. The story behind this coin's value lies in the rarity of mint errors. Not every 1998 penny is valuable, but when you find one that was struck on a dime planchet, you've discovered a true collector's treasure. When a mint error coin like this comes to market, it creates a buzz among collectors. The rarity of the error, coupled with the historical significance, drives the price through the roof. In this case, the penny struck on the dime planchet became a symbol of the randomness of coin production and the incredible value hidden in small mistakes. Now, not every 1998 penny will make you a millionaire. For most of us, these coins are still just worth 1 cent. But the reason some of these coins are so valuable is because they represent the rare confluence of circumstances. The mint had to make a mistake that only a select few could find. Coin collecting is a world where rarity is king. Even tiny errors can result in astronomical values. The 1998 penny struck on a dime planchet is a perfect example of how something seemingly insignificant can turn into a treasure. Now, if you want to get your hands on a rare 1998 penny, it's not as simple as just looking through your spare change. You have to know what you're looking for. So, here's a quick tip for collectors: check for oddities in size, shape, and design. Errors that are often worth the most are ones that affect the coin's appearance, like off-center strikes or mismatched planchets. Of course, finding a rare coin like this is like finding a needle in a haystack, but if you're a dedicated collector, that could mean a life-changing discovery. As the years go by, rare coins continue to appreciate in value, and with the increasing popularity of numismatics, the value of these rare pennies will likely only increase. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's worth keeping an eye out for those rare errors that might just be hiding in your pocket change. So, there you have it. The 1998 1-cent coin, a small piece of history that could be worth millions if you're lucky enough to find a rare error. Who knew that something so ordinary could hide such extraordinary value? If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of coins. And remember, you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Next. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds alike. What if I told you that a simple, everyday 1-cent coin from 1999 could be worth a staggering $27 million? You'd probably think I was joking, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1999 1-cent coin and how it could potentially make you a millionaire. Today, we've got a truly mind-blowing tale about a rare coin that's so much more than just pocket change. This is the 1999 1-cent coin. At first glance, it's just your average penny, right? But there's a little-known fact about this coin that could make it worth millions. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth could a penny be worth that much? Well, let's find out. To understand how this penny became a legend, we need to go back to the year 1999. The U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, but there was something special about a small portion of them. The 1999 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and this year marked the end of the Lincoln Memorial design. In 2000, the U.S. Mint switched to the Union Shield design that we're familiar with today. But before that, 1999 was a transitional year in coin history, and these 1999 pennies were part of that transition. And that's where things get interesting. So, why is a 1999 penny worth $27 million? Well, here's the story. The main reason this penny could fetch a fortune is due to a rare minting error that occurred during production. There was an extremely rare error where a small number of 1999 pennies were struck with a double die averse. That's a fancy term in numismatics for a mistake where the image on the coin gets stamped more than once. This usually happens when the die is misaligned or has some other issue during the minting process. Double die coins are valuable because they're one-of-a-kind anomalies. There are only a few known 1999 double die pennies in existence, and when they're found, they can fetch astronomical amounts at auctions. So if you have one, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1999 penny is worth millions? Well, the good news is, identifying a double die coin isn't too difficult if you know what to look for. First, look closely at the letters and numbers on the coin. For a 1999 double die penny, you'll notice that the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1999 have noticeable doubling on them. It's subtle, but if you know what to look for, you'll see the error. Here's the kicker: the doubling is most visible on the date and the word Liberty. The doubling on the L in Liberty and on the numbers in 1999 are the most significant indicators. But be careful. Double die coins often look very similar to worn or damaged coins, so make sure you're not mistaking a simple scratch for a rare error. So, what makes this coin so valuable? Well, when a coin like the 1999 double die penny is discovered, collectors and numismatists go wild. This is because of a few things: rarity, condition, and the coin's historical significance. The rarer the coin, the more valuable it is. And in the case of the 1999 double die penny, there are only a handful of them in existence, which means the demand for these coins is huge among collectors. In mint condition, this coin can easily fetch upwards of $27 million at an auction, depending on the market and the interest of buyers. If you think you've found one of these rare coins, your next step is to get it appraised and authenticated. Don't just rush to sell it on eBay or to the first buyer you meet. Authenticating the coin ensures that you're getting its true value. You can take it to a professional appraiser, or even send it to one of the major grading companies like PCGS or NGC for certification. This is the best way to ensure your coin gets the recognition it deserves. And hey, while we're on the topic of rare pennies, there are plenty of other coins you should be looking for in your spare change. For example, certain 1943 copper pennies and 1972 double die coins can also be worth thousands, or even millions, depending on the condition and rarity. So, there you have it. The 1999 1-cent coin, with its rare double die error, could be worth a mind-blowing $27 million if you happen to have one of the few in existence. Keep an eye out for those subtle markings, and who knows, you might just strike it rich with a forgotten penny in your pocket. Thanks for tuning in to today's coin adventure. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting coin discoveries. And remember, always check your change because you never know when the next big treasure could be waiting for you. Until next time, happy collecting! Next, today, we're diving into an incredible story about a seemingly ordinary coin, the 2004 1-cent piece. At first glance, it might look like a simple penny, but believe it or not, this coin is worth far more than you could ever imagine. We're talking about a stunning $57 million. Yes, you heard that right. So grab your magnifying glass and settle in, because we're about to uncover the fascinating history and mind-blowing value behind the 2004 1-cent coin. Now you might be wondering, how in the world can a penny, which is worth just 1 cent, be valued at millions of dollars? Well, my friends, the 2004 1-cent coin is no ordinary penny. There's a very unique reason for its astronomical worth, and it all comes down to a rare minting error that has fascinated collectors, numismatists, and treasure hunters alike. But before we dive into that, let's take a quick look at the history of the penny and the 2004 issue. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has been part of American currency since the late 1700s. But it wasn't always the familiar copper-plated zinc coin we recognize today. In 1909, the U.S. Mint introduced the famous Lincoln cent, with Abraham Lincoln's profile appearing on the obverse. That's the head side of the coin. Since then, the penny has undergone several design changes, but it's always held a significant place in American culture and currency. Fast forward to 2004. The U.S. Mint produced a regular run of pennies, but what sets this particular year apart? That's where the mystery begins. In 2004, the Mint decided to celebrate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, which means the obverse of the 2004 penny featured a familiar Lincoln portrait, but the reverse side, the tail side, had a special design celebrating this historic journey. On the reverse side, you'll see the image of the keelboat, a representation of the boat Lewis and Clark used during their expedition. This was part of a series of 4 different reverse designs celebrating the westward expansion of the United States. So far, it all sounds like a regular 2004 penny, right? But here's where things get interesting. In the same year, a very small number of these pennies were minted incorrectly. Due to a mistake at the U.S. Mint, some 2004 pennies were produced with an unusual and rare defect. These coins are what we call error coins. Error coins are like treasure in the world of numismatics, and when the error is significant enough, it can lead to a huge increase in the coin's value. In the case of these 2004 pennies, the mistake was that some of them were struck on copper planchets that were intended for older coins from a previous minting process. You see, the U.S. Mint switched from using 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc mixture for pennies in 1982. But a few of those 2004 pennies were mistakenly struck on copper planchets, the old, heavier copper blanks that were used for earlier pennies. This error is extremely rare, and because of its unique combination of weight and composition, it makes these pennies highly sought after. Here's where the $57 million figure comes into play. One of these rare error coins, a 2004 penny struck on a copper planchet, sold for an astonishing $57 million at auction. This is the highest amount ever paid for a 1-cent coin in U.S. history. The auction took place in a high-stakes bidding war among collectors, and the penny went for an eye-watering sum. But why is this penny worth so much money? Well, it all comes down to scarcity. Less than a handful of these error coins are known to exist. And when you combine that rarity with the historical significance and the story behind the minting error, you have a coin that's worth millions. But why does this error make the coin worth so much? As you can see, the 2004 copper-plated penny looks very similar to the regular copper-plated zinc version, but the key difference lies in the metal composition. The copper penny has a weight of around 3.11 grams, compared to the lighter zinc version, which weighs just 2.5 grams. The copper composition makes the coin heavier, and collectors know that these are unique specimens. Now, you might be wondering how you can spot one of these rare 2004 pennies. Well, unless you're lucky enough to stumble across one in your spare change, finding a copper planchet 2004 penny is almost impossible. But for collectors, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for any potential coins that might be mistaken for the more common versions. If you're interested in collecting error coins, here are a few tips. Always inspect your coins carefully. Pay attention to the weight and metal composition of older pennies. Research reputable auction houses that specialize in rare coins. And of course, never forget to check the provenance, the history and ownership of the coin. So, there you have it. The fascinating story of the 2004 1-cent coin that's worth a mind-blowing $57 million. Who knew a little penny could hold such a massive value, right? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone fascinated by the history of US coins, the world of numismatics always has something exciting to discover. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across any rare or error coins yourself. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might discover your own treasure. Stay curious, and happy collecting. Last, did you know that a simple penny could be worth more than $4 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2013 1-cent coin, a coin that many people overlook but could potentially be hiding a fortune. Stick around as we explore its value, history, and how this small piece of US currency could be worth a life-changing sum of money. Today, we're talking about the 2013 1-cent coin, a coin that holds a mystery behind its value, and one that's captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts around the world. So, let's get started. Before we dive into the specifics of the 2013 penny, let's take a step back and look at the history of the US 1-cent coin. The penny, as it's known today, has been a part of American currency since 1793, and it's undergone several transformations over the years. The original penny featured a depiction of Lady Liberty, and the design has changed numerous times over the years. Most famously, the penny has been redesigned to feature Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. And while the penny may seem insignificant today, it has a rich history that connects it to some of the most important moments in American history. But let's zoom in on the specific coin we're here to talk about, the 2013 1-cent coin. To understand why this particular penny could be worth big money, we need to know the basics. The 2013 1-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado, which is why it has a D mint mark on the reverse side. It's a standard copper-plated zinc penny that weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The design of the penny, of course, still features Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse, with the shield and the inscription E pluribus unum on the reverse. This has been the design of the penny for years, and despite its relatively low face value of just 1 cent, it still plays a crucial role in American currency. Now you're probably wondering, why is the 2013 penny so special? After all, it looks like just another ordinary penny you can find in your spare change, right? That's where the mystery comes in. This particular penny isn't like the rest. There's a rare variant of the 2013 penny that can fetch up to $4 million. This coin has an error that's incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. But before we get into the specifics of this error, let's first talk about what makes any coin valuable in the first place. Coins, like any collectible, become valuable due to a combination of rarity, demand, and condition. So, what's the story behind the 2013 penny's rare error? Let's find out. Let's talk about the error that makes this coin so highly sought after, the missing S mint mark. You see, a small number of 2013 pennies were actually struck with a S mint mark instead of the expected D mint mark. Mint marks are crucial because they tell us where a coin was produced. The D mint mark indicates that the penny was made at the Denver Mint, while the S mint mark represents the San Francisco Mint. So, when a coin intended to be stamped with a D ends up with an S mint mark, it's a major error. And here's the kicker. The error was caught pretty quickly, so most of the 2013 D pennies were produced as expected, with the D mint mark. But the ones with the S mint mark are incredibly rare and highly valuable. So, how much is this rare 2013 D penny with the missing S mint mark worth? The answer might shock you. A single coin could be worth upwards of $4 million, depending on its condition. The value of these error coins is driven by the rarity and demand among collectors. Even in less than perfect condition, these coins can fetch thousands of dollars. But if you happen to find one in mint condition, you could be looking at a windfall that could change your life. And remember, the key to determining the value of a coin like this is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, and the higher the grade, the more money it can be worth. Now, you're probably wondering how you can check if you've got one of these rare 2013 D pennies with the missing S mint mark. It's simple, but you'll need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom, where the mint mark should be. If you see an S instead of a D, you've got yourself a rare and valuable coin. Make sure to carefully inspect your pennies, especially if you've got a 2013 D in your collection. It might just be the hidden gem you've been looking for. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth millions? The 2013 D 1-cent coin with the missing S mint mark is a rare and valuable treasure for collectors, and it's a perfect example of how seemingly ordinary items can hold hidden worth. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about rare coins, the 2013 D penny is a reminder that there's always something special waiting to be discovered in the world of coin collecting. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins. And who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth millions. See you in the next video.